The search intensifies near Orlando.
Our goal here is to find Mia.
For a missing teen from South Florida. Gabby Petito's family facing the cameras.
The laundries did not help us find Gabby. They're sure is not going to help us find Brian.
And honoring her in ink. Plus, getting his day after a delay.
This day has been a long time coming.
The Obama Presidential Library is now open. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
I'm Danelle Dukin.
And I'm Zitlali Solati. Today is Wednesday, September 29th, 2021.
From the South Florida Media Network's Biscayne-based studios in North Miami, this is SFMN Newsbreak.
Candlelight and concern for Mia Marcano. She's the South Florida native who recently moved to Orlando and hasn't been seen since Friday. The search continues this morning for the 19-year-old woman who's been missing for several days.
And as the network's Alejandra Garcia reports, efforts are now concentrating on a wooded area near the apartment complex where she lived and worked.
Mia was last seen Friday in the leasing office of the apartment complex where she lives and works in Seminole County. As the heavy search continues for her, there are crowds of people outside of her building near the University of Central Florida, holding candles, praying for a safe return, and desperately asking for answers. Days have felt like weeks for Marcano's family as they continue to ask for the community's help in finding her.
Mia, this message is for you. I know you're alive. I know you're out there. We love you.
19-year-old Mia Marcano moved to Orlando last year, but prior to that, she was a student here at Flanagan High School in Pembroke Pines. She was supposed to come to South Florida to visit her parents over the weekend, but she never made it home. Authorities say a person of interest in the case, 27-year-old Armando Manuel Caballero, was found dead of an apartment suicide on Monday.
He killed himself. So he was our lead to Mia, and he killed himself. Mia is still missing, which our goal here is to find Mia.
Caballero worked in maintenance at the complex. Police say he had been repeatedly denied when he expressed a romantic interest in Marcano. According to police, someone used a maintenance-issued fob to access Marcano's apartment roughly a half hour before her shift was set to end Friday.
That a maintenance-issued master key fob, which Caballero was known to be in possession of, was used to enter Mia's apartment Friday afternoon at about 4:30. This would have been about 30 minutes before she finished her shift.
The sheriff says investigators are now reviewing video from the apartment complex. For the South Florida Media Network, I'm Alejandra Garcia.
This morning, Gabby Petito's family continues to urge her fiancé, Brian Laundrie, to turn himself in. They held a news conference in Long Island, New York yesterday and showed reporters the tattoos they got made from Gabby's old drawings. Laundrie's family says the last time they saw him was on September 14th.
They're sure is not going to help us find Brian. For Brian, we're asking you to turn yourself in to the FBI or the nearest law enforcement agency.
After more than a week of authorities searching for Laundrie in the 25,000-acre nature reserve, the FBI says the operation is being scaled back and targeted based on intelligence. The Petito family also announced a new foundation that will be named after their daughter to keep her memory alive and help other families who suffered similar tragedies.
A judge later today plans to decide on a motion to dismiss battery charges against Nicholas Cruz in a case separate from the Parkland school shooting. Cruz was in a Fort Lauderdale courtroom yesterday regarding charges he attacked a jail guard while behind bars in 2018. The defense argues that the Broward Sheriff Office failed to preserve some of the audio and video recordings from that day. The trial is scheduled to start on Monday.
The man accused of killing a Florida deputy during a traffic stop is in police custody this morning. Police were able to corner Patrick McDowell yesterday near a sports complex outside Jacksonville and was then taken to the hospital. McDowell is accused of shooting Nassau County Deputy Josh Moyers last Friday, who then died 2 days later.
The Biden administration is facing a federal lawsuit from the state of Florida this morning. Governor DeSantis filed the suit yesterday because of what he calls a catch-and-release immigration policy. DeSantis argues many immigrants who cross the southern border into the U.S. often eventually make their way to Florida and cost the state millions of dollars.
Today is the first full day of construction at the Obama Presidential Library. Former President Obama and former First Lady Michelle Obama were on hand for the groundbreaking in Chicago yesterday. In his speech, the former president says he hopes the facility will help strengthen democratic ideas and help bridge political divisions in the country.
This day has been a long time coming. We had originally hoped to hold a bigger festive event, but the pandemic had other plans.
The construction has been delayed by the lockdown and by lawsuits, including one by environmentalists who argued public land should not be used for private projects. A federal judge later dismissed that lawsuit.
After first seeming skeptical, NBA superstar LeBron James is on the record this morning about his vaccination status. During Lakers Media Day yesterday, LeBron revealed that he has been fully vaccinated, even though the league does not mandate it. Yesterday's Media Day was also the first opportunity to see LeBron wearing his new jersey, number 6. It's a number that hasn't been worn in a game since playing 4 years with the Miami Heat and winning 2 championships.
It's a company known for its donuts, but this is a whole new thing.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
The kids were thrilled when they got to look out their windows and see superheroes coming to say hi.
Firefighters are known for being heroes. This group now has the costume to match, all to the delight of pediatric cancer patients. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
The family's visit to the forest inspired a beautiful question. Mother, mother, am I a tree? You tell me to stand tall. You tell me to stay rooted. I think I am a tree. My child, of course you are. But what kind of tree will you be? The kind to hug or the kind to climb? Doesn't matter what you choose, so long as you choose to be a tree that's kind.
Make the forest part of your story at a park near you. Find one at discovertheforest.org.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
I help our fellows design their paths as creative entrepreneurs. My experiences serving startups, creative businesses, and cultural organizations, and my journey as a queer mixed immigrant with Haitian and Arabic roots, inform the co-creative environment we foster at Radcliffe. We leverage our collective diversity to encourage the building of lifelong personal learning networks and mindsets that stimulate continuous innovation.
COVID-19 has changed how we stomp the yard and feel the beat. Now it's time to take the first step that lets us get back to strolling instead of scrolling. Before we can safely come together, we need the facts. As COVID-19 vaccines become available, you may have questions.
Is it safe?
Should I get it? Is it free? It's okay to have questions. Now get the facts about COVID-19 vaccines at getvaccineanswers.org so you can make an informed decision for yourself and for your fam.
A heroic surprise, several stories above the ground and outside a hospital's pediatric cancer ward.
As Halloween approaches, fire rescue teams paid a super surprise to a children's hospital.
Fire and rescue officials visited the hospital near Arlington, Virginia yesterday, dressed up as superheroes, and they dropped in with a rappel rope anchored to the building's roof.
The kids were thrilled when they got to look out their windows and see superheroes coming to say hi. During COVID, they haven't gotten any special visitors inside.
The Fairfax County Rescue also stated that they hope to make this an annual event, especially to lift the patient's spirits and their own.
Krispy Kreme is set to release cinnamon rolls for a limited time. With 2 new additions to the family, Krispy Kreme has rolled out 2 versions of the sticky sweet treat. An original cinnamon roll with Krispy Kreme's signature glaze, and another roll topped with Cinnamon Toast Crunch and a cereal milk icing swirl. It's a great companion to a cup of coffee, which you should have because today is also National Coffee Day.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Zitlali Solache.
And I'm Danelle Dukin. Get more news anytime at sfmn.fiu.edu.